Kia's clearly decided wacky names help its SUV stand out from the crowd. Take this small SUV. It's called the Seltos. Yep, attention gained. Now let's find out if it's deserved. The Seltos sits above the Stonic and below the Sportage in the Kia lineup. Told you, wacky names. In this case, we're testing the Sport, which is the second tier up in the 4 model range walk. It's priced around $30,000 before on-road costs and lines up against a bevy of opposition in the booming small SUV segment, including the MG ZS, Mitsubishi ASX, and its own stablemate, the Hyundai Kona. In fact, the Seltos and the Kona share the same underpinning platform. Although you wouldn't know it at a glance, the Kia is not only longer, it's also boxier. Kia Seltos design features include the Kia Tiger Nose grille and the driving lights stacked on the headlights, while the Sport gets these 17-inch alloy wheels. The Seltos Sport uses the same 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine as the Hyundai Kona Active we recently tested. The performance numbers aren't big, but nor is the fuel consumption. Again, like the Kona Active, the Seltos Sport comes with a continuously variable transmission and front-wheel drive, both of which aid that impressive fuel consumption number. When you get in the Seltos Sport, it does nothing to suggest it's anything other than an affordable, small car. There's not a lot here in the way of jewellery and embellishments. The surfaces are mostly hard to the touch, and the seat trim is cloth rather than more prestigious leather, but you get what you need in terms of adjustments and instruments. As a place to store your bits and bobs and stuff, the cabin of the Seltos Sport is nothing too special. There's inbuilt sat-nav here as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There is no wireless smartphone charging, let alone connection, but there are 2 USB outlets. Kia has a bit of an each-way bet when it comes to safety systems for the Seltos Sport. There's a $1,000 safety pack that includes a more sophisticated version of AEB, adaptive cruise control and bigger rear discs. Sitting atop the dashboard, this 10.25-inch touchscreen is the big technical talking point in the Seltos Sport's cabin. The door bins are small, the lidded bin is okay rather than great. There are a couple of cup holders and a decent glove box. In the back seat is where the Seltos Sport really excels. There can't be many, if any, small SUVs that have more rear seat space. But don't expect much in the way of features back here. No aircon vents, no seat back pockets, no fold-down armrest, no USB outlets. Just a couple of small door pockets. Really, Kia could have made rear seat residents feel that little bit more loved. In terms of size, the boot is the other big winner here. For the segment, it really is generous. And under the floor, a full-size tyre on an alloy wheel. That's excellent. But no pockets, no string nets, not much at all. Once again, Kia saved itself a few bucks here and come off as stingy. So far, the Seltos Sport stacks up as a bit of a mixed bag. So let's hit the road and see what the story is there. Settle in, and it's nice how everything pretty easily and comfortably falls to hand. The engine is very much a known entity and does a good job of transporting us around without ever getting too noisy or strained. The CVT combines with it well, avoiding the constant jumping between gears small non-turbo engines sometimes trigger in orthodox autos. The Seltos Sport drives agreeably enough without being anything special. The electric assist steering has a bit of a rubbery feel to it, but it works with the well-controlled body to produce stable handling. The Seltos Sport comes with a bespoke local suspension tune that produces a firm but well-controlled ride. As an entry-level model in the Seltos range, the Sport comes with a torsion beam rear suspension rather than a multi-link setup. For the most part, no problem. There is, though, occasionally a bit of liveliness over mid-corner bumps. The Seltos Sport couldn't match its stellar fuel consumption claim during our test drive, but it still averaged under 8 litres per 100 kilometres, which is very good. A lot of people are going to use the Seltos Sport as an urban runabout. In that role, light steering, big windows and its small size are very helpful. Less useful is the lack of front parking sensors. But the Seltos Sport comes with a very strong ownership plan, including a 7-year warranty and cap price servicing. Despite its wacky name, the Seltos Sport turns out to be nothing more or less than a competent small SUV. However, it is disappointing that Kia hasn't capitalised on all that excellent rear seat space and made passengers back there feel more welcome. Do that and the Seltos Sport becomes more than competent and more attention getting too.